Hi, I'm Scott Stetzer, and I'm a Director for Enterprise SSD Programs at STEC in Santa Ana, California. And what we're going to do is show you a quick demonstration. So we all know SSDs are faster than spinning disk drives, but what I'd like to do is highlight that not all SSDs are created equal as well, especially when you're looking under a heavy workload like an enterprise workload. And what this means is running the drives constantly. This is a tough environment for any SSD to keep up with. So what the demo has to show you, we have 3 competitive SATA SSD drives. These are all drives that are shipping today. Each one is formatted with an NTFS file system, and each drive has a 30 gigabyte SQL I/O database on it at a 4K record size with 8 users, or actually 8 QDEPs. And finally, what you'll see on the screen is an application that's actually going to measure that performance in real time as the demonstration is running. Now, if you look at the demonstration, the software has 3 dials at the top. This is 1 dial for each of the SSD drives, showing the instant IOs per second rate that that drive is achieving. Below the dials, we have a strip chart that actually shows those IOs plotted out in a graphic form over about a 2.5 minute period of time. Now, SSD number 1, this happens to be my STEC Mach 8 IOPS drive, is showing us a pretty good, consistent 3,000 IOs per second, give or take. And if you look at the strip chart, he's a fairly solid access. He's a fairly flat line in terms of his access. So good, consistent I/O. SSD number 2 with the red line now is running a range of access. He's switching somewhere between 900 IOPS to a little over 2,000 IOPS. And he's moving up and down pretty constantly, as you can see from the strip chart. So he's actually having some difficulty maintaining consistent access to the database records. SSD number 3 over here on the right in the blue line, or the blue chart, is showing us a performance of just under 200 IOPS under this workload. So he's really struggling to keep performance up to any working level. So as you can see from the results of the demonstration, under an enterprise workload, not all of the SSD drives are able to keep up. So what we would like to do is recommend to you, as you look at SSD drives for enterprise applications, you got to look past the traditional benchmarks. Those benchmarks are really designed for testing a mechanical component like a spinning hard disk drive, and looks at rotational latencies and seek times, which are fairly easy to measure in a quick period of time. SSDs operate a little differently. And the tough areas to measure for an SSD is performance over time, because all of these drives will slow down as they get filled up with user data and have to engage their wear leveling algorithms. So one last thing to mention, we're going to load up on the STEC website a white paper describing this demonstration in detail, and I'd like to thank you for taking the time to view the demo.